Welcome to Grip the Top Commander Deck Tech. Today we have Marchesa the Black Rose for y'all, and she's a dethroned creature, which gives all of our creatures dethrone, which is whenever you attack a player with the most life total, or tied with, that creature gets a +1 counter on it. And Marchesa has a fantastic ability. Says whenever a creature you control is put in the graveyard with a +1 counter on it, at the next end step, you may return that creature to the battlefield. So it's pretty amazing. There's a lot of broken things you can do, and she's a really fun commander. So let's talk about what she can do. Marchesa is a creature-based toolbox deck, and she loves to do what all good EDH decks love to do. That is drawing cards. So we have creatures that draw us cards. Some of the best ones are end of the battlefield effects, because when they die or come back, they will draw cards. On the top of our list, we have Seagate Oracle, Baleful Strix, and Mold Drifter. These are end of the battlefield creatures that, when they enter the battlefield, they draw us cards. Disciple Bolas is a fantastic creature where you can sacrifice another creature to gain life and draw cards. Ticket Mage is really good to abuse. You can return it, and again, go tutor for that Soul Ring, and also there's 6 other targets which you can get. Soul and Synchronacum is a early mana ramp and draws you a card. Isolde the Blood Witch is a sacrifice outlet that lets you draw a card. Sig the River Cutthroat lets you take advantage of the life loss of your opponents. And Graveborn Muse is a fantastic card where it takes you off the throne and draws you cards. Grim Harvespect and River Kelpie are probably the 2 best draw engines in the entire deck. It lets you take advantage of all the death that is happening and the recursion that is happening as well for card advantage. Clone and Steal effects are especially potent with Marchesa, because you're able to steal other people's items even for 1 turn, and then you can sacrifice it and put with a +1 counter on it, and then it becomes yours permanently. Sour of Temptation and Cryotopolus Manipulator and Puppeteer Click are great ways to steal people's creatures from the graveyard or even from play. Aleve is probably one of the best creatures in this strategy, when she can steal a creature and put a +1 counter on her is very effective. Phantasmal Image, Dax Tiblekin, and Phyrexian Metamorph are cards that let you say, that's a pretty worm coil, I want one too. Moving on to one of my favorite categories is creatures that kill. Duplicant, well, it's Duplicant. And Grim Quartzborn is a really effective card to put a +1 counter on itself, attack and kill target creature, and also it's a fantastic sacrifice outlet. Thraxamutter helps you take care of those pesky players that were holding on to that one last blocker. Nevermaker has really been an all-star in this deck, giving you answers to just about anything. Stingmoggy is fantastic. You never have to worry about any artifacts or lands that are giving you trouble. Flayer of the Hatebound is absolutely the biggest win con of this deck. With the sacrifice outlet, Marchesa, and this card, you will be able to win the game by the end of that round. Now, a toolbox deck just wouldn't be complete without creatures that just do stuff. Being able to put +1 counters on your creatures without Marchesa is important for the consistency of the deck. Marchesa and Hollow does this very well. It gives all your creature Undying, which when they die they'll get +1 counters when they come back. And the Marchesa will be able to bring them back when they die. Sage of the Fables is a fantastic card. There are actually 12 wizards in this creature, including Marchesa. You'll never be sad to see this creature in play. Vegene Graph Mage is another great way to be able to put +1 counters on your creatures. Flesh Carver, Chasm Sculler, and Reef Worm are creatures that when they die, they come back and give you more creatures. Flesh Carver and Chasm Sculler are also creatures that will put +1 counters on themselves. Ghoulcaller Glissa lets you sacrifice a creature to get, well, more creatures. And Jalira Master Polymorphous allows you to sacrifice a creature and to get another creature off the top of your deck for added card advantage. And with Marchesa, those creatures just come right back. Or Battle Driver gives all your creatures +2/+0 and haste until end of turn. It's really important to get +1 counters on your creatures as soon as possible, and the best way to do that is attack the player that's on the throne. Kira Great Glass Splinter is very effective as far as protecting your commander and all your other creatures. Nightscape Familiar lets your blue and red spells cost 1 less, and is very effective as far as an early blocker. One of my favorite type of spells are spells that just plain kill everything. And being that this deck is very board wipe resilient, let's cram as many as we possibly can. Toxus Deluge is absolutely the best board wipe in this deck. It allows you to pay life and get off the throne, and destroys all the creatures. Chain Reaction, Blasphemous Act, Curse of the Swine, Decree of Pain, All Is Dust are all excellent board sweepers. If our opponents are able to remove some of our creatures before we're able to get a +1 counter on them, it's important that we have Return from the Dead cards. Friction Reclamation is really good in this deck. It allows you to pay 2 life to return a creature card from your graveyard into your hand, taking you off the throne and returning the creature card. Oblivion End is a massive graveyard recursion and also an early game acts as a board wipe. Sack outlets are a very important part of this type of strategy. If someone tries to remove a creature or steal a creature, you need to be able to sacrifice it, and also to abuse the end of the battlefield effects for a lot of your creatures. Phyrexian Altar and Ashnod's Altar are a great way to sacrifice your creature and get extra mana. Fallen Ideal is really great. It gives your creature flying and also has sacrifice a creature. This creature gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Feel like killing people with commander damage? Fallen Ideal is the card for you. Goblin Bombardment is a great way to sacrifice a creature and get added value. Any commander deck would not be complete without a good ramp package. Mox Diamond, Soul Ring, Wellsfire Bubble, Talismans of Dominance, Talisman of Indulgence, Darksteel Ignat, Gilded Lotus are all cards will help you get your threats out early. Now we're going to talk about non-creature cards that do stuff. Phyrexian Arena, Demonic Tutor, and Skullclamp will get you the cards you need. Unspeakable Symbol is a card that does everything you want it to do. You pay life, so you're off the throne, and also puts +1 counters on any creature you need. Lightning Greaves is a great way to protect Marchesa and giving your creatures haste as well. Nicol Bolas, well, he's Nicol Bolas. Fastest Call is extremely effective, especially in the late game after you used a lot of your suicide effects to get that life back. Next we're talking about the lands. High Market, Mourn the Morning Well, Phyrexian Tower are all lands that can sacrifice creatures for added abilities. Misty Rainforest, Marsh Flats, Verdant Catacombs, Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, Ancient Tomb, Watery Grave, Blood Crypt, Steam Vents, Sulphurous Springs, Shivan Reef are all lands that will fix your mana and help you get off the throne. Lavaca Reaches, Creeping Tar Pit are really good man lands. Opal Palace are really good in this strategy because Marchesa comes into play with extra 1/1 counters. Fall to the Whispers, Seat of the Synod, and Great Furnace can be tutored up with Trinket Mage. Crown Catacombs, Dragon Skull Summit, Reflecting Pool, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, Tolarian West, Command Tower, Crumbling Necropolis, Tainted Isla, Exotic Orchard, Willow Tower, 3 islands, 3 swamps, and 2 mountains. Round up the land count. So in closing, Marchesa is a really fun deck to play. There's a lot of synergy in this deck. She brings back the creatures and they always do things, and it's very frustrating for the opponents to have a whole field whether it's almost board wipe proof or removal proof, and it's a lot of fun. There has been some times where people have not wanted to play me because I'm playing this deck, but who wants friends anyways? Thanks for watching. Another deck tech with Grip the Top Commander with Marchesa, the Black Rose. Please rate and subscribe.